Hello everyone, Bob here, and welcome back to the Voice of the Movies. In the last episode, I unboxed Mondo's Infinity Saga box set, and I also reviewed Infinity War, the first film of that box set. And today, I'm going to look at the other film in that box set, Avengers Endgame. As far as picking an actual favorite out of that, I don't know I could do that because I feel like it's very much one body of work. The music in Infinity War flows so well into what's in Avengers Endgame. Kind of like how Lord of the Rings trilogy does. It feels like one body of work. And so that's why I decided to go ahead and review this one this week instead of waiting a few weeks like I do on my other franchises. So without further ado, let's talk about the music in Avengers Endgame. So there is one aspect about this record that I noticed that I didn't notice while I was unboxing it. And you see I've got Endgame here. You pan down here, and it says Avengers Infinity War in the credits down there. Let me know in the comments, guys, if that's common, if all of them are like this, if there's just a few of them like this. Not that it really matters to me one way or the other. I know everybody makes mistakes, and I'm not trying to find fault with the set. I'm just kind of curious, from a collector standpoint, to know whether it's a common mistake, if they're all like that. And so on. So on disc 1, side A, it starts out, you still feel the overwhelming loss and the fallout from Thanos' snap. It's sad music. It does a good job of putting you in the mindset and the mood that the survivors of the battle at Wakanda are in. Totally Fine and Arrival both are nice, very slow pieces that are very mood setting. No Trust does a good job of building animosity between Tony Stark and the Captain America character. The track titled Where Are They is a little more actiony, and then it returns to a more somber tone when it goes to Becoming Whole Again. It's more of a, like I say, it's more of a somber instrument. It's very slow. They use the whole orchestra and their strings. It's very well done. Side A is rounded out by the track, I Figured It Out, which it starts out with a bunch of tender moments because it's supposed to reflect Tony Stark and his family life, and then it kind of builds excitement there at the end because it's his eureka moment when he figures out the time travel. First two tracks on side B build excitement because they have a plan now. They know what they're doing, and this conveys that. It works at helps to convey the characters on screen's hopes that they have a chance to bring everybody back. The How Works is a slightly different rendition of the Avengers theme. It's a lot slower, a lot quieter, and it's not quite the get up and get excited that we're used to, but this works. This conveys it just a little bit. It's more trepid, it's more careful, I guess would be another way to put it. It's a little less confident, but it's building. It builds as it goes on. It shows signs of getting hope and getting confident that what they're doing might work. The first side of the second LP is where the action takes place in the movie, in terms of it's where the time travel stuff takes place. The music is designed to get you amped up for what's happening on the screen, to get you excited, to get you into it, and it succeeds great. It does a wonderful job of putting you in the moment, and that's really the best you could hope for out of a musical track. The only exception to that is Measure of a Hero. Most of it's slow and soothing music, but the last 20 to 30 seconds, it really picks up and starts building. The second side of the second LP has a few standouts on it. The first half of the Destiny Fulfilled track, it's very slow. It's very low in terms of tone and pitch, and it's very ominous and foreboding, and it does a wonderful job of putting Thanos in a position of power, even though if you've seen the movie, you know that that's where he sees the recording of himself killed in the future. And In Plain Sight has a very heisty feel to it. It makes you think of something out of like what you'd see in an Ocean's movie, or maybe even in a spy movie where they're breaking in someplace to steal some kind of computer chip or something. It's very minimalistic, and it's very fast, and it does a very good job of conducting a sense of urgency. Not Good is as a track name. It's not a critique or anything. The track's literally named Not Good. It is kind of a retread of the sacrifice on Vormir for the Soul Stone. In Infinity War, it was Gamora that got tossed over the side by Thanos. In this one, if you haven't seen it, I guess spoilers, but Black Widow sacrifices herself, and the music is the very same as what you hear. I'm not complaining because it's very good. It conveys all the emotions it needs to, and that it is perhaps my favorite track off of either of these albums. It's that bit there. I Was Made for This is the other track that's on this side of the second LP that's a standout, and it builds the anticipation because it's when Hulk is going to snap and maybe bring everybody back. This 3 side A is essentially the big battle at the end, the big centerpiece. Everything in the whole MCU has been building up to what happens at this point in Avengers Endgame. And most of it's just your common actiony stuff, which isn't a bad thing. It does a good job of helping to convey the excitement of what's going on the screen. But the standout of the whole deal is a track called Portals. And that is the one where, if you've seen the movie, it's where Captain here's on your left, and then all the portals open up and everybody that disappeared in the snap shows up and fights, and you get that build-up moment to where Captain America says, "Avengers assemble," and then of course the Avengers theme blares. That's the highlight of side A of that record. And it's one of the everything in the MCU, like I said, is culminated at that moment, and the music definitely helps in the payoff with that. Side B of the third LP is, of course, the last side on the whole box set. It starts during what would be the climax of the movie, and you have build up where you still feel like the what's going on is going to be inevitable. And then, of course, you have Tony Stark's "I am Iron Man" moment in there, and it does a wonderful job of going from the inevitable one way to how it happens in the movie. It's just such a sudden change of emotion in it. And again, a spoiler, I'm sorry if you haven't seen the movie, but Tony Stark dies when he snaps his fingers with the Infinity Stones, and of course dusts Thanos and all of his minions. The highlight of this side of LP3 is The Real Hero, and basically it's the Tony Stark funeral scene. It does a wonderful job of conveying the sadness and how many lives that the Tony Stark character has touched. It's a nice, slow song that is a fitting tribute to the character of Tony Stark and his importance to the MCU. Like I said earlier, in my opinion, Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame musically feel like two parts of the same musical story. The one is obviously a conclusion to the first and repeats a lot of the themes and motifs that were in the first one. That's why I decided to review them as close together as I did. Sorry. But as far as favorite tracks on this one, Not Good, Portals, and The Real Hero are the three standouts to me. Of course, the Avengers theme is always a big standout, but it's part of Portals, so that's why I didn't list it separately. This is very much an album that I recommend anyone pick up that enjoyed the movie or into movie scores. 10 years from now, the music from this Infinity Saga, we'll look at it the same way we look at music from a lot of the other big movie franchises, because to me, The music was perfect in these two movies, and I can't imagine enjoying them nearly as much had Alan Silvestri or someone else come up with a completely different score. So, again, whether you buy this as part of the box set or individually, I think they're definitely worth adding to your collection. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please give me a like, and please consider subscribing to this channel. I try to have new content up daily. It doesn't always work that way, but that's my goal. I do live in Northwest Missouri, so my internet is iffy. Follow me on Facebook or Twitter. Just search for Bob the Film Guy. And for now, this is Bob, signing off.